Hare Rama Prajna.
Hare Rama Guruji.
What was going on?
Nothing Guruji, we were just waiting for.
Is it? Yeah. Might be some of them who joined left maybe then. If you're just waiting, right?
No Guruji, actually very few people joined today.
Oh, it's a Sunday, right?
Yes Guruji.
Okay. Abhramam bhangarhitamajadam vimalam sada anandatirthamadulam bhajetāpatrayāvaham. So yesterday we were looking at, is everyone there? Um, okay. I'm clearly audible, right? Network here is good.
Yes, Guruji.
Yes, Guruji.
Okay. Yesterday we were speaking about upasana and the purpose of upasana. Um, Oftentimes, while teaching Shastra, uh, it, it's more consequential to say what it is not rather than what it is, because there's a perspective behind doing that. Why do we say what things are not? If you just see Shastra from very close, statements which describe either karma or brahma or all of these tattvas for what it is are lesser than the statements which describe what it is not. And even what it is described in such a way that excludes, that help us exclude what it is not. The fact is, when when we know what it is not, we tend to gravitate automatically towards what it is. Prajna, are you able to make sense of what I'm saying?
Yes Guruji.
Please feel free to interrupt and ask, if, or even if you have to say something, please feel free. So what upasana is not, when that is clarified, then it'll be easier for us to, we automatically see, we know upasana is something that it's not it is not something that we enact as per a predetermined script. It's not a scripted activity. It's there. Yes, there are scriptures are something that give a script. You see, there are scriptures, but those scripts are not prescriptive in the strictest sense. They are prescriptions. We talk about them as prescriptions, but they are prescriptions which are in tune with our own swadharma, which is most natural for us. Of course, in the current situation that we are in the embodied situation, we are in a distorted state of existence in which we are out of touch with our own selves. So that is why even something that is most natural to us would look like it is not. It would look like it is something different, something foreign. So that is the state in which we are mostly. That is why we need the scripture. Upasana, it helps us realize it is also a form of yajna. It helps us, it brings us to see things for what they are, and it brings us close to those whom we have to be close to. Upasana, upa means close by, nearby. Asana means to be. To be close. The sense of upasana, the sense of the word is to be close. To get close, to get closer. Now, how close? You can only get as close as you belong. The place that we are, especially with respect to Brahma, the very foundation of our placement with respect to Brahma is gathered in the idea of Taratamya. Getting too close is a problem, and getting too far is also a problem. You see what I'm saying? Getting too close is a problem. Being too far is also a problem. So we should just get to that place where we are not too far, not too close. Too close, we won't be able to handle it. Too far, we won't be able to do what we are supposed to do also. Tasmat sarvagatam brahma nityam yajne pratishthitam. People claim of perfections. People lay claims, huge claims of perfection in their upasana. But we have checks and parameters by which we can determine if our upasana has been perfect or not. And God Himself, Krishna Himself, gives these gives these statements by which we can diagnose our own being and or the perfection to which our upasana has been. For example, in the Jagat Chakra, Krishna says, Annad bhavanti bhutani parjanyad anna sambhava, yajnad bhavati parjanya, yajna karma samudbhava, karma brahmodbhavam vidhi brahma akshara samudbhavam, tasmat sarvagatam brahma nityam yajne pratishthitam. Tasmat sarvagatam brahma nityam yajne pratishthitam. Tasmat sarvagatam brahma nityam yajne pratishthitam. Prajna, we had forwarded the picture of Jagat Chakra to everybody, right? Last time, once.
Yes, Guruji.
You can. Is there a way you can make it now? Make it seen to everyone like you did last time.
Yes, Guruji. 1 minute, I'll share it.
Please.
I have displayed it, Guruji.
Yes, ma'am. So you see that same statement that I said in the last, Tasmat Sarvagatam Brahma Nityam Yajne Pratishthitam. That can literally be applied to any of these elements in this Jagat Chakra. Practically all of the things here are in a way Sarvagata. Bhutani are also Sarvagata. Anna is Sarvagata, but then Anna, there is a process by which, except Parjanya and Anna, we don't need to explain the Sarvagatatva of other things, of other elements. We need a certain kind of a parishkara to understand the Sarvagatatva of Parjanya and Anna. But other than those two, Yajna is Sarvagata. Bhutani are Sarvagata in the sense that one Jiva is not Sarvagata, but Bhutani as a total are Sarvagata. There are Bhutani everywhere. So they are in that sense Sarvagata. Everyone is every of these element is Sarvagata in a certain sense. Karma is also Sarvagata because Bhuta Bhavod Bhavakaro Visargaha Karma Sanjitaha. So that is why that karma is also wherever the bhutani are there, they are there along with their karma, jnana, ichha, ityadi. So that is how karma is also sarvagata. So in one sense or the other, all these are sarvagata. So you can apply this, that tasmat sarvagatam brahma nityam yajne pratishthitam. You can say the same thing as tasmat sarvagatam yajna, tasmat sarvagatam yajna nityam anne pratishthitam. You can say that. Because yajna is always there to lead to anna. The way we translate that in English would be different for each of these elements because their relationship is different. Yajna always leads to anna through parjanya. And anna always leads to, anna should lead to, anna of course leads to the sustenance of the bhutas, bhutani, but then it should lead, that bhutani are sustained by real anna. That actually gives you the real identity of what is anna. Anna sustains jivas in such a way that they are able to comprehend the akshara. Does it make sense? Are you able to see that in the Jagat Chakra?
Yes,
In the order that they are like described by Krishna in the Jagat Chakra. That's how we have denoted that in that. So it's a very the Jagat Chakra itself is a very intellectually stimulating and revealing. It's like it holds the key to a lot of wisdom. The more you look at it, all the 700 verses, in fact, everything that is there that we need to know can be organized around this Jagat Chakra. So the point that I wanted to imply here is when we say that upasana, when we do upasana, how do we monitor or how do we check if that upasana is perfect? People claim that I have Brahma Sakshatkara, but all these elements exist together always. Remember this. You cannot cut out any one of these. You cannot isolate Brahma from this. So tasmat sarvagatam Brahma nityam yajne pratishthitam. So if you understand, if your upasana is perfect, if your upasana has been accepted and reciprocated, what should be the result of that? How would we know? Is that you, because of that Brahma Sakshatkara, what follows Brahma Sakshatkara is karma, and through that yajna. So your karma and what is the nature of your yajna, that will become more and more clear to you. It's concomitant with Brahma Sakshatkara. It cannot be otherwise at all. It cannot happen that okay, you are visualizing Brahma as some blue form with a lotus-like face, holding things in its hand, and then you don't know what to do. It doesn't happen like that. What to do in life? What is your life meant for? What is it that you are invested with by Brahma, by God Himself? All that becomes clear along with Brahma Sakshatkara. When you turn on the light in a room, it doesn't happen in such a way that you only see the light. If you turn on the light in the room, you will be able to see everything else that's there around, right? So in the same way, Rajeshri, you had a question. I saw your hand raised at that time. Was there a question?
No, Gurusha.
Okay. So, you तमेवं विद्वान् अमृत इह भवति यस्मिन् भगवो विज्ञाते सर्वमिदं विज्ञातं भवति. When you know Brahma, as your upasana becomes perfect, you not only understand the upasya murti, but you also understand all the world around better. And all the world around better in which way? What do you mean you will understand better? You will understand what you are meant for. What is your yajna? That is all we need to know. Remember. Our efforts towards knowledge, research, and all such enterprise, we need to really know what it is meant for. Only then, otherwise it will lose focus. People can do research over a plethora of a gamut of subject matters. You can study the mating habits of the scorpions or the butterflies in the Amazon jungle all your life, and you won't be finished with that. I bet you, I don't know, I'm not, but yeah, I bet you there is some library in the world in which there'll be volumes and volumes of books covering just that one topic. So what do we study? More than ever. See, this would not have been a question if you were here, say, 200 years ago, 300 years ago, 200 years ago. If you were here, you would have, I would not have to say this, and this would not, it simply is not a problem in life, because you would be simply localized to your your functional the vocation. You would hardly come in touch with what doesn't matter to you. But today is the world of information. There's a hell lot of information out there on the web. So what out of that we grasp? That's a that's really today in those age olden days, it would be considered like, say, you're living in Bangalore. Bangalore was a whole different city then. 200 years ago, you come to Bangalore. Why 200 years ago? If you would have come to Bangalore in the 1980s, anyone here? I don't think any one of you were born at that time. 1980. Anyone here? 1980.
No, Guruji.
Uh, if you would have come in 1980, or even like 1985, 1980, the mid 80s, uh, you would find people wearing dhotis and walking around with that white dhotis tucked in both in the front and in the back, with a kacha pancha, with a kacha panche. And there would be all the way, anywhere you go, there would be huge trees, lakes everywhere. Lakes and gardens. It used to be called the Switzerland of India. So the whole scenario then was different, but you would be localized to your function. But today we live in a world in which we are not localized to our function, and there's a hell lot of things which are not connected with us. In no way they are connected with us, and it's really when you become aware of what you are meant for. Most of the things that we worry about, or we get to know, or we bother about, they really don't matter. That is the truth. That is intelligence. That is intelligence. Intelligence is not just to know things from another planet. How red is Mars? Are there Martians there? Is there any clue whether there is dry ice, or there is any molecule, any form of any compound of carbon which can support life there in a form that can lead to organic molecules? Closed structures are possible, carbon bonds. There's a hell lot of, but does it concern us? There's been so much wasteful effort in the directions of all these research, because most people don't have any focus in their life. It will do well for us to not bother about any of these things. How does it matter to us what's there in Mars? See, most of the intelligence in this time and circumstance is to be able to zero in on what is it that concerns us. The whole paradigm has been set in such a way that we won't be able to gain such focus, and there is constant distraction, constant entertainment, and this is a very ridiculous situation. No serious, you cannot attain any serious gravity to your life with this kind of a distracted uh, in this kind of a paradigm. So strength comes to us when we can focus. Remember this. Tasmat sarvagatam brahma nityam yajne pratishthitam. So your realization of anything, not only Brahma, your realization of anything would only be as much meaningful as it leads to a better understanding of what you are meant for, what you are designed for. That's all that your existence is about. You don't need to bother about anything else. Isn't that a privilege? Isn't that a comfort? Isn't that a luxury to live like that? That is the greatest luxury, I tell you. That is a greater luxury to realize that than any of the technologically affordable comforts that the world has to offer. When you know what you're meant for, what are you in essence? So Brahma Sakshatkara leads to karma and yajna Sakshatkara. So please understand Upasana in that way. Every detail of Upasana, starting from Achamana, Pranayama, Sankalpa, and all of the mudras, the kriyas, the nyasas, and the kriya vivaras, all the details of the implement, they are all targeted one pointedly towards leading you to a better realization of what you are, what you're meant for, what is your karma, what is your yajna, how do you contribute meaningfully to the Jagat Chakra. That is all Upasana will lead you to. Please do not be taken aback by the uh, jokes that I made yesterday. Like, is it like, but those jokes were meant to be were meant to give you a sense of what Upasana is not. Like bribing a police officer. But most people, you really, why I made that joke is because in most people's mind, they go and they do all this in the temple because, I think the temples are the breeding grounds of all corruption, because this corruption, I think it has not come from nowhere. It has come from God. It has come from the people's attitude towards God, because that is what they do there in the temple. If you really see, if you really analyze what is it they are doing, that's all it is. So how do you expect this person to not? It's natural for them. Yeah. Or why would this officer not take some money? Our God only takes money. Our God only takes money. Why the officer will not take? So we need to work out of those constricted, degenerate models of life and subscribe to the truly nourishing and uplifting, fulfilling model of life that is understood from the Jagat Chakra. The Jagat Chakra, once you understand, it will explain you what is Upasana, what is philosophy, what is karma, what is activity, what is the goal of life, what is the purpose of life. Everything will become clear just with this one understanding, this Jagat Chakra. Our identities as individuals and even our collective identity cannot be understood at all without the understanding of the Jagat Chakra. This is my very this is a very deep realization. This is a very it is not just deep, it's all over the place. I request all of you to actually, the Jagat Chakra that I sent that time, it has been improvised a little, in the sense I've included more so that so that we can uh, so that there is enough detail that you can uh, see it as implementable, understandable. Yes, Raj.
Yes, Guruji. So people who makes rockets, spaceship, are they contributing to the Jagat Chakra?
That's a damn. See, that is not my words, Rajashri. Krishna is saying, Evam pravartitan chakram nanu vartayati. Anyone who is not a participant in this Jagat Chakra, Krishna says, not I, not Vishwadiraja is saying. Krishna is saying that Mogham Partha Sajivati. What is the verse number, Achyuta? This Prajna?
I think 14 or 15.
3, 14 or 15. Just see, evam pravartitam chakram, the chakra which is turning in this way, nanu vartayati hayaha, anyone who doesn't participate in wielding in its rotation. Aghayuhu. It is not just waste, it is sinful, he's saying, because those resources are not meant to be used like that. Aghayuhu Indriyaramaha Mogham Partha Sajivati. Now there is a space race and there is an arms race and all this. This whole thing has come because somebody got it wrong. Even mistakes are having their own cascade. That's how things work in this world. Just somebody has to initiate it, that's all. You initiate a certain form of crime and you will see that that crime is propagated in its own way. People just need a reason. You give that reason. Okay, somebody has already done. That is why you see, I believe that all these newspapers and news coverage, 24 hours news coverage, our CNN news, all these news channels, I think, see, mostly before, if some crime would have happened in some corner of the world, it would have been localized to that place. But now what's happening, we hear somewhere that a 2-year-old baby has been raped by a 34-year-old man, and then raped and like smashed into pieces by a 34-year-old man. After raping, he has done something. So now that crime would have remained in that place, and the local authorities of law reinforcement would have taken care of that. But now what happens, people hear here, and then gradually what happens, it's a weakness of the human psyche that it allows that, it makes space for that. And this person sitting here thousands of miles away, wherein if he would have organically brewed, if he would have been organically broomed in the cultural immersion that is around him, there is no way that such a crime would have been propagated in his own vicinity. But then we hear of things which we would have never heard of in our own vicinity now, and then that in some way it makes room for that crime. This is a fact of criminal observation, that crime is being ubiquitous everywhere now, in the sense that it is spreading somebody does some crime somewhere in Cuba, and then that becomes a news everywhere and everyone knows about it, and it starts making space in the human mind that it's okay to do that. The people have been doing that. The very fact that people are doing this, that itself somehow generates reason for us also to do that. So all these news coverages have unnecessarily propagated crime. I would really accuse them of that. Yeah, does that answer you, Rajshri?
Yes, Kushi. So is it sinful if a scientist who is making rocket using the resources to make that rocket? Because it
Of
is
course,
not.
if Krishna says,
Uh,
Aghayuhu. Agha means sin. Aghayuhu, his entire life is sinful. His entire life is spent sinfully. He only gathers sin. Indriya Ramaha. It's only meant for sense gratification. Mogham Partha Sajivati. Wastefully he lives. It's a waste life. They may project in front of us that we are wearing all the and it's all the uh, what's the word for that, all the um, what's the word for that, all the show around that. It's just to justify such a wasteful thing as being of value. True value is hard to discern. Remember this always. True value is hard to discern. What is apparent is often not what it is. You will have to look for true value. Guna aguna viveka. Guna aguna viveka is a very rare privilege. It's the attainment of life. If you came to realize, because of reading the Bhagavad Gita or hearing from me, or hearing from any of the gurus, if you came to realize, or if you find that your own innate potency to recognize a quality which you would not recognize before, now you are able to see something as a guna has happened, then you can say that you are really learning. Yeah, so it's not only wasteful, it is sinful. Aghayur indriyaramaha mogham partha sajivati. So actually that should be a check for us as to what kind of occupations. within the scope of this Jagat Chakra, there are thousands and millions of occupations that are possible. And that's how people have lived ever. You think this model of life is sustainable? Hell no, it's not sustainable.
जी गुरुजी.
There is a judicial way in which we have to see the very judicial way of understanding of how to deal with the resources only comes when you know of this Jagat Chakra, when you know that there is a yajna, when you know that everything has a target, everything has a not a target, not in the corporate sense. Everything has a something. Everything is meant for somebody. So we need to discern what is it that is meant for us. Tena tyaktena bhunjithaha. What is meant for us? Intelligence should be used for this, but in the current paradigm, that kind of intelligence is seen as something which is very bad. It is seen something as very backward. Okay, so let us see how far this goes. We have already been seeing. We almost know now where it is leading to. Anybody who has a little brain knows where all this is leading to today. So the fact is that there are many people who don't have brains, and that is why this is able to run. Now, those of you who are wondering, is this Madhva philosophy? What would you say, Prajna? Is this Madhva philosophy?
It is just a reality which we know by common sense, and as you said previously, Sri Madhvacharya just repropagated it when it was lost at one point of time.
Yes. Thank you, Prajna. So, yeah. So people want to have philosophies in their name. Madhva did not want to do that. But he did not want to have that. Yeah. So I think we'll conclude for today. There are a few points that came up. Try to make note of, I'm telling everyone, not just Prajna. Try to make note of the things that you get to learn here. And I don't say that you will immediately, because I know that you are all living in a cultural immersion that is set by the modern paradigm. So, but what I would what I would really request you all to do is that try to look around yourself, look into the world around, look into how things have, look into history, and see if it makes sense. यस् सर्वगुण संपूर्णः सर्वदोष विवर्जितः प्रियतां प्रीत एव आलं विष्णुर्मे परमस्वहृत् शरीरचेष्टापि मम प्रणामः स्तुतिस्तु वागीन्द्रियवृत्तिरस्तु सर्वात्मनो वृत्तिरनुस्मृतिस्ते सर्वं तदाराधनमेव भूयात् श्रीकृष्णार्पणमस्तु. अच्युतानंत गोविंद अच्युतानंत गोविंद अच्युतानंत गोविंद. Hare Rama, Prajna. I think we'll conclude today. I will conclude today. But if you there might be things that you want to discuss, or you can. I would stop. I would end here.
There's nothing else, Guruji. We can continue next week.
But I think a lot of important things came up in today's class.
Yes, Guruji.
Yes, Guruji.
Yeah, please make a note, and so that you don't forget it. You won't find anywhere else in the world. People don't talk this sense. So it's a rare thing that such sense is even being discussed and spoken about. So you're all privileged to such a dialogue, and it's a real privilege to be able to even speak these things out, and you all are able to be part of this dialogue. That itself is a thing that we all need to be happy about, very happy about. Hare Rama, Narayana, Narayana.
Hare Rama, Guruji.
Hare Rama. Somebody then. Dhanyavada. Okay, Hare Rama.